Hey, what's up? We should be live. Let me just test the audio 1 second. You should be able to hear me, but I want to make sure because I'm not going to be with these headphones monitoring this thing. Let's see here. Where do I watch this on YouTube? So if you're confused, this is just a spontaneous live stream. I want to do some... Oh, there we go. Yeah, okay, volume's maybe a tad bit low, but that's fine. Considering the distance of the mic from my face, we'll have to deal with it. I want to test out the new setup and the quality, so we're just gonna do like a bit of digital drawing, kind of my evening. It's now 8:30. So yeah, looks good. Camera, got it here. Got my drawing tablet right here. I can probably show you. There we go. And this is actually pretty cool because I don't really have to do much in terms of other cameras. I can just draw on the screen and you see it, and I guess that's fun. So I think this is a good format because I can just kind of draw and practice whatever I want and see who's in the house and kind of talk to you. Now, because I have two monitors and a third one, which is my drawing tablet, I can do so much. So I can see you, DNF. Awesome. I can see you, Pam. How are you? Romina, Moser, Plumpy Lump, Rajshri, Pam. I can see everyone here. Oh, I said Pam twice because you're here twice. I can see everyone really easily, and I can kind of talk to you as I draw. Oh, thank you, Hanny. Yeah, you like that one? Yeah, it's really fun. So I've just drawn. If you haven't seen, anyone who hasn't seen, it's over on Instagram and here on YouTube too. Sorry, I did this fun little, I guess, watercolor animation thing. It's really neat. I want to paint it soon, and then we'll see how it looks because. You notice that some of the frames, some of the frames aren't well aligned because I have been drawing from a reference, so it kind of wiggles. But hopefully I'll be able to kind of align everything and get something interesting there. I'm gonna do some kind of standard sketching exercises, do a bunch of boxes, a bunch of spheres, and develop it maybe into something a little more interesting as we go. You know, mainly faces, that's what I want to kind of practice right now. I've been doing a lot of it, you know, in my sketchbooks, but it could be fun to do something like this here. Hey Lynn, how are you? Hey Greek name I can't pronounce, sorry, hope you're doing well. Ish Santos, how are you? Lieth, how are you doing? Norwu Linear. Why am I even trying to pronounce full usernames? Noor, I'll go with Noor. Malik, how are you doing? So let me know if that's kind of, if you want me to do these, because this is actually a bit of an easier type of live stream for me to do, because I get to practice my skills and also talk to you in a fairly simple way. So would be fun to do more of these. Now, of course, I do want to practice. So I'll see if I'm actually able to focus or not. These types of sketches are a little simpler, so I think I can probably handle that. Now what's good about drawing digitally like I'm doing right now is once I have, let's say, this face here, all I really have to do is decrease the opacity, get a new layer going, and then just proceed as I were and start adding some details to the face. So that's fun and simple. So we can define a bit of that kind of the cheek. We could even probably get some hair. I have no reference, like nothing. I opened up Pinterest, so if I want to look at some stuff, I can do that, but I have nothing here. It's not Procreate, it's actually... Oh, Georgian, sorry. Yeah, and I should recognize these letters too. I forgot the name of the language because I was there and I saw them and I think they're really cool. I actually took a few photos of different road signs in blue that had these letters and it's so cool. Like, let me check now because now I really want to remember. This is Clip Studio Paint, the same Is it Bear Bear? Is that the correct? Bear Bear language. Yep. Yeah, I remembered a bit of it. So yeah, this is Clip Studio Paint, same one I showed you in the video on digital painting for traditional artists. It's a really fun software. I've been using it a lot for the manga. I'm just a big traditional fan, so it's honestly much easier for me to do most things I do just on pencil, you know, kind of simple. I'm simple-minded like that. But it is fun and it's a good tool to finalize things. So let's say you want to create something more finished, adding tones and editing pages, which is something I hope to do for the manga while streaming. That'll be fun. And I'm 12 years old. Oh, that's awesome. Hi from Armenia, says Nitro Pantera. How are you? Hope you're doing super duper well. Let me see. So this is, hopefully the quality is good, right? Daiji, I just started. Don't worry, you're not late. The quality is pretty good, I would say. So this is, I owe this to this computer. That crazy computer I've shown you in the last live stream with all the crazy lights and everything. There we go. Disco party. So yeah, I'm gonna keep this one short. I just want to do some fun little exercises, and then I'll probably go rest because it's pretty late. Go and eat something. One fun thing I want to practice is to draw with fewer guidelines, especially when it comes to faces. So if I can just, for example, place the eyes correctly without doing too many guidelines and practice that, because what I find is the thing you practice you actually get better at. So if I can do that, pretty sure it will improve my skills. So if I can just get a face there and have it look half decent, even without that many guidelines, that'll be fun. Just an example. Probably the minimum guidelines I do like to use for faces. I do like, so again, this round head, and then front of the face. Maybe let's change the angle a bit, like this. Side of the face, like that. And if it's a more, what I want to do more is the simplified kind of manga style. You'll usually have a shorter face, so something like that. That's going to be your basic structure. Unlike a Loomis head, where if you go by, let's say, a similar angle, you'll measure this and then you'll double it, and you'll get more of this kind of a, see the difference in proportion? So this is a little more simplified, even younger looking, I would say. But yeah. Let's see here. Thank you for the teaching. Yeah, Aaron, it's my pleasure, of course. Happy the quality is good. I find that with this setup, capturing a screen, because I'm drawing digitally, actually works really well. So that's super convenient. Daiji, I can relate. Re still doing traditional drawing, then laying the lines, colors, details digitally. I missed what software we're using. This is Clip Studio Paint. Clip Studio Paint. I did a video on them, collaboration. So yeah, it's great. I love manga art, drawing which watercolor very well, but now I started with oil paints. Oh, cool. So yeah, let's see here. So let me zoom in a bit, even though I'm quite zoomed in. Then we'll go over to my next layer. Let's try, let's put a few more. So this is the eyes, and this is gonna be the nose, and this is gonna be the mouth. And then eyebrows, this is kind of where they're supposed to be. So if someone's happy or smiling, it's going to be high up. And then the eyes will fall on that line. I've been watching a bit of My Hero Academia lately, and the eyes there are very interesting, so it could be fun to kind of go for that style here. And maybe I'll open up some references soon and try and kind of... So one thing they like doing there is these eyes are close together. So you have two eyes, and then the pupils are close. So instead of placing them like middle and middle, kind of middle, they do like center and center. It's a very interesting kind of trademark of that. Then let's switch. Let's do a pen. Let's do a bit of pen. Test the quality. The problem I have with digital is usually it tends to be the pen's thickness, because it's very hard for me to gauge how thick it should be compared to the paper size, because the paper size is non-existent. You're painting or drawing on a canvas that is digital. That was what I found the most challenging. Yeah. Mystified Oni, okay. That app needs a good PC. Actually, not that much. Like, you don't need that good of a PC. You do need it to be able to handle another monitor so that you can draw on it. It's better, I think, than... or you could connect a tablet that has no screen on it, because I'm drawing on a screen right now. But not that... It doesn't have that significant requirements. Digital drawing isn't that bad in that regard. The real challenge for me is always the streaming side, because that does require a pretty strong computer. So yeah, you can look at their system requirements on their website. I believe it's pretty straightforward. So let's try turning this into something. You know what? Let's do something more interesting. Let's go for more serious eyebrows. Lucky I have the undo button. And the other side's gonna be here. That's gonna be something like that. There is something very fun about digital. Something very forgiving. That's definitely an advantage. See, I'm really not used to the... Sometimes they don't even draw a nose, it's just like something like this. Like that. Then let's do more of a smile thing going. I'm really bad with no reference, but it's funny. Let's do something a little more. No, that's bad. See, that's bad. I'm really bad with no reference. Oh, I know what the problem is. Yeah, it should be still this angle. And then... I don't know. Maybe something like this. I'm going off of my complete imagination. I could try a character I'm more familiar with, which is actually a character I'm developing for my own manga, so that'll be a little easier, but yeah. Gotta have the blushies there. You see, it's fun. That's fun. Completely forgot the eyelids, of course. Yeah, let's do another one. Richard, how are you? surprise stream. April, is there a watercolor version of Inktober? If we'll make one, there will be one. I don't think there's an official one, actually. Plumpy, you might be able to get a decent feel for the line width on an iPad or drawing tablet since you can set the canvas to the paper size. Yeah, you can do that here too. You can do pretty much anything you can do on a simpler like Procreate, except for maybe special effects. I don't know why it's so hard, because I don't see the paper in its entirety, I guess. Use a drawing tablet without a screen. Takes some getting used to. Yeah, I actually tried that in the past, and it's not that terrible. I thought it's going to be really complicated. It was okay. It wasn't that bad. So let's do some studies with reference. I will still do probably characters. So let's just go with what my homepage will suggest to me, which is just a bunch of figures. Just looking for something interesting. Oh, this is interesting. So I have this photo of a dude here. Now, where should I place it so that I see? I want to see the chat too. Okay, let's do this kind of a thing, and then this on the other side. Good, 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 good. I have Ukrainian rose watercolor, and how do you like this stamp? The Rosa watercolor, I love them. They're really cool. Stamp, I'm not sure. What do you mean? But the Rosa watercolor are really, really good. I actually have a video showing some of them. I really enjoy them. So I'm going to try and do a face and profile. That's a terrible circle. I'm going to redo that. There we go. A little better. And then our orientation is pretty much flat. We'll get the side of the face. What is your manga about? It's a story about pretty much a nihilistic guy that lost hope in society. It's a slightly futuristic, not really. It's set in the not too far future based on our world, maybe 20, 30 years into the future. A world where all of humanity's problems have been solved. You have basically robots do everything for you. And humanity in general goes through this kind of purpose crisis. Where people just don't really have a need to work or need to do anything. And then what happens is he stumbles into a very scary incident where he realizes something is wrong, and that throws him into a serious rabbit hole. I need to work on the elevator pitch, but that's the gist of it. So I hope that's somewhat interesting to hear. But yeah, I think it's going to be a really interesting story. I'm already at 160 pages, which is pretty annoying. I can't finish but I'm close. I'm really close to finish. I maybe have like maximum 50 more pages. I don't think so though. So, yep. This is where the eyebrows fall, and then there's this nice little dip. The nose should be somewhere around here. So something like that. And then we have the lips. Actually an interesting angle between them. So that's top and that's bottom. And the chin. And then the eye, usually in this angle, it can be quite tricky, but it's way more to the back. So maybe somewhere around here. Should probably do this larger so that I actually can see the pixels. But yeah. There we go. My proportions aren't perfect, but that works. Let's do a bigger dip and then bring the nose up. I can't speak English very well. No, that's okay. I actually understand everything. Thank you, Lynn. Yeah, it's an interesting story. Let me show you just an example of what it looks like, because I have it right here. With all the things I upgraded, I don't have a mouse pad yet, so I'm literally using this sketchbook. It's the only thing the mouse works on properly for some reason. Let me see if I can find a nice little page to show you. It's a huge spoiler, but I don't think you'll forget by the time you actually read it. No, let me find something else. It's too big of a spoiler. But this is the story. Look at how thick it is. Let's see, something interesting. Yeah, that's a nice one. So you can barely understand anything, but there's an establishing shot on this page here. This is the level of detail. Very non-detailed. Because it has to be just the story itself. This is still very likely to change. And you have an additional element of actually having to tell the story visually. So it's mostly just the face expressions of the characters and things of that nature. It's all completely ripped. But very simplified. It's very, very simplified. Because it still needs to be very fluid and sketchy so that I can make changes easily. Basically. Do you write it out like a traditional novel or as a guideline? So yeah, I wasn't drawing it out first. So about, from what you see here, this thinner area is the plot and ideas and characters and everything, themes, all of that, the plan itself. So I wrote down everything that needs to happen, like dry points. This happens, that happens. This person does this person does that. Basically wrote down everything that I hope to have happen in the story. And then wrote it in more detail. Like what happens practically every step of the way. Then I wrote more of the characters, personality, and things like that, because that will really guide how things are going practically. And then I started just drawing it from start to finish, building it into panels, doing my best, because I don't really have like a good answer as to why things are the way they are, how to plan them exactly. All I can do is just go for it. And that's what I kind of did so far. So let's do a bit of a figure thing here. And I'll probably sometimes be a little quiet as I'm drawing, but feel free to ask me questions, of course, and I'll do my best to answer. The idea, I really want to get to a point where I can do these streams on a regular basis, and I feel like I can just work like on the actual project. And I'll probably save it for simpler tasks like inking, things of that nature, and just kind of chill with you. And I don't have to talk a lot, but I can, answer questions and everything. So this is going to be the pit of the neck. And it's going to lead us all the way to the clavicles, like so. We have the front part of the body like this. I'm going to exaggerate this pose a bit so that the rib cage goes in that direction. But then the pelvis is in the other direction. I don't know, maybe it'll add some interest. And then this goes here. That's how I try at least to build my my figures. Basing them on three-dimensional or simple shapes, you know. So this goes with that direction, this goes here, we should have a bit of a pinch here and stretch here, so I'm just gonna give it a try and see what happens. We're looking from below actually, so this will go here. It's not gonna be perfect, but like that. That's the pace in which I'm drawing these kinds of more complex things. I have to build it up, otherwise I just don't know what I'm doing. So, and I see some of these more experienced artists. I have no idea how they work so fast and with barely any reference. I think they just painted so many poses from pure imagination by now that they don't need too much, but I I need a lot of it. So yep, this like goes here, and it's a bit foreshortened because it moves towards us. Exaggerated the shape a bit, and this leg is really foreshortened, so it moves just towards us like this. Something like that. מה קורה, אור? Some Hebrew. My buddy Or is here. That's funny. What watercolor paper is the best, Fabriano or Canson? I like Arch best, but Fabriano works well for me. I've been using Fabriano too, and it's okay. Yo, hello, how's everyone doing? Yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. Or what's up with you? How are you doing? So let's see here. So this, funny enough, is like this. I'm not gonna go into too many details with this one, but I could just make this layer a little more transparent and actually build upon it and add a bit more anatomy. Even though I feel like that will be a bit of an overkill. I'm pretty much at my almost at my maximum capacity when it comes to anatomy here. See, that's what happens when you don't first create a simple cylinder like that. I got a little lost there. So that's another one. And this one's facing a little like that, actually. Yeah, this is how it works, you have to build it up slowly sometimes. Then what I do is, on top of these simple cylinders, I'll start putting in the muscles as I know them. So for example, I see her deltoid goes here, so I'll just place it, and then the bicep and everything. So the deltoid wraps around this area, at least how I see it. So it's gonna be something like this. Probably a little exaggerated, but that's fine. Then the bicep, we do have the tricep somewhere here. This area is where I'm not as familiar with anatomy. This entire area here is so hard. But I'll give it a try. Her hands actually rotated like this. Oh, no, that was good. And then the hand grabs. There's a bit of a muscle there. I think that's the ridge muscles. I'm not sure though. And then the other hand, same thing with the delt and the bicep. And whenever I struggle with something, I try and imagine it again as a simple shape. So the bicep is basically this round and then down shape. It has this interesting little, can you tell? Almost like a computer mouse, funny enough. And then there's the dip here. This goes to the side of the hand like this. The one danger working like this digitally especially is you can lose sight of your proportions. But I think that works. I think I did a fine job here. And then the hand. We're not going to go into hands. Sticky art. Lots of drawing from real life models helps a lot with drawing without reference. Yeah, for sure. Adria. Okay, I'll try and remember that, Adria. I will do my best. I'll try. Adria. I'm going to brainwash myself whenever I see this language. Adria. Yo, I'm doing great studying figure drawing too, trying to get better at it. Yeah, definitely. Let me know, anyone, Yo and everyone else, if you have any challenges that I can maybe help with. One exercise that really helped me is the bean exercise that Proco teaches. That really shows how to show the orientation of the rib cage and pelvis. And I find that by doing this exercise, you can actually base an entire body on it. So for example, let's say you have a rib cage that goes, a rib cage and pelvis that goes like this. So, and I can already imagine it. This is so cool. So let's say this is actually, let's do this as the back of the figure. So this is going to be the rib cage. Again, simplified. And then this is going to be the pelvis. Okay. And so the pelvis is tilted forward. Good. So we may see a little of the under side of it. And this is a really exaggerated pose, so like, no person can actually get into that pose, but that's fine. But, and this is the back. This is the glutes, or as you would call it, the butt. And look at how you can almost immediately just base something on that. So you'll have the head and neck, then the shoulders. Maybe they're sending one hand forward, another one back, kind of like a dancer. So this hand moves away from us. And then this hand maybe to our side. And look at how quickly you can start establishing. So like there's the top of the shoulders is wider than the rib cage. So you'll get something like this that represents the, I don't know, maybe the, what's it's called, the latissimus muscle, that wide thing. And then you'll probably have a bit of serratus. I'm doing this with no reference, so this is really fun. This should probably reach all the way to here. And again, it's an exaggerated pose, but it's still quite nice, I think, for complete from imagination. Maybe that person has the other leg up and back. So this will be this leg, and then the part that goes to the back. Is it gonna be like this? I'm not even sure. But I'm inventing, so you see it's kind of wobbly. This leg moves away from us. And then if you want to add some muscles, you'll add the delts. The bicep should be on the other side, but we will see the tricep. So if the elbow's here, maybe I'm really bad with the back of the arm muscles. Maybe something like this, you know. And then if the hand is like this, maybe you'll get something like that, where the thumb is on the outside, you know. I'm really winging it. And then let's add the head itself, the trapezius muscle, trapezius, I think, yeah. And that actually goes here, so you can start adding some back muscles if you want to. And you have the adductors. What are these called? Not adductors, forgot their name. And you have the whole, that probably should be, the scapulas should be probably at a bit of a different angle here. But you see, you can start drawing kind of people, you know, wobbly but still look good. Procos tutorials about the topic is really helpful. Yep. Adria says, I love ink and wash and don't like very, very wet and wet. Yeah, that's super hard wet and wet, you know. But when you get used to it, you find that it has so many uses. It's actually really fun. Yo, I actually was wondering, what do you recommend? Practicing drawing on paper or digitally? Does it make a difference? I think in theory you're still building knowledge if you're drawing digitally. But I do think maybe a healthy mix of both, if you can, is best. I think so. There's something, I think just for learning, both are okay. But there is something about drawing on paper that's different. I can't exactly say what it is, but I recommend doing both. I don't like Procos tutorials because he has time lapses. Yeah, some of his premium content, and because I have some of his courses are more real time. But yeah, it's just a very high level. It's really hard to follow sometimes. When I practice figure drawing digitally, I'm less careful and make lots of mistakes. Yeah, that is true. But in some ways, you're more free, because right now I feel more free than like on paper, just because I can fix so easily. That could be an advantage, because I feel a little, you know, again, freer right now. So I'm looking at a very interesting pose. Maybe I'll try drawing that. We'll see. Shibasaki, yeah, Shibasaki is really good. I love Shibasaki. He's such a kind guy too, you know. I remember one time he did a video of how he wants to quit because he feels bad about people really feeling bad for not being as good as him, which is pretty crazy. But yeah. What have you been working on, everyone? Have you been painting or working on any other skill? Curious to hear what you'll say. I'm gonna do a bit of a tough pose. Let's see how it goes. I don't know. We'll start with a gesture. I think I'll have to, because it's such a weird angle. So that's gonna be the arm going back. Head to the back. Other arm going that way. This goes like that. There's a bit of a twist, maybe, I'm not sure. And the elbow's gonna be around here. Probably didn't even leave enough room for it, but that's fine. This is tough. And this is probably too long. Let me make it shorter. Yeah, that's gonna be tough. I'll probably work. I'll probably just give up on that one. I don't feel like I could probably do it on paper later, but I don't feel like it's too ungestury. Let's try one that's a little more straightforward. I know you can't see them, sorry. I'll figure out a way. I just didn't have the patience to figure out how to share the other screen right now, but I'll get it the next time. Plumpy trying to get my portraits to look like portraits, also working on backgrounds. All I've been doing lately was practice drawing boxes in perspective and figure studies, trying to unlock these fancy dynamic poses. Yeah, my first watercolor drawing has ear. Did you paint an ear? That's cool. That's a cool subject. Yeah, you feel freer with paper. That makes sense, Monique. Yeah, it's interesting. Talking about fancy poses, let's do one. I found this awesome gesture, so that's gonna be the head, and then we have this really neat I don't even know what it is. It looks like Shaolin monks, but who knows. That arm goes way back. One thing that's very hard to get when drawing is asymmetries, like doing this kind of a thing instead of this kind of a thing. It's very hard to do. And I'm trying to, you know, whenever I recognize it, I'm trying to use it. It's very hard. And then this goes here. So that's a really fancy pose. And I think I actually have a pretty good grasp on it, so I don't need much detail to flesh it out, so I'll probably just do another layer with a pen kind of thing, because the clothes here are really baggy, which makes it easier, actually. There we go, lots of stretches on the cloth. Arian, just trying to practice sketching so I can have the confidence to share one day. Then I hope to paint the sketches with watercolor. Yeah, that's fun. So, I would encourage you to feel free to share. I mean, sharing isn't necessarily the end goal, so I don't really care about, you know, that as much. If someone just enjoys painting for themselves, that's ideal. But if you do find yourself kind of wanting to share and are scared, I'll say life is too short. Just do it. You know? Like, who's gonna judge you? Let's exaggerate the face a bit. I wouldn't do this without reference, but because I am looking at a picture, it's a real person, but I'm gonna turn them into more of a character thing. Something like this. Hair. Ears go way up in this strange angle, so something like this. And you can see my pen control isn't the best, could be better, especially in terms of the width. There we go. And then let's get some muscles in, so you're actually seeing a nice pinch here of the delts. Connecting here, I think somewhere to the side. And then we have that. What do you call that thing? The elbow? That looks like it goes here, and then muscles. And that's pretty much it for that hand. Then we can see a bit of the trapezius. And then we have the... Sorry, if drawing people isn't interesting to you, then... sorry, that's most of this live stream. That's what it's gonna be. And then you see a bit of the pecs, I guess, but just a bit. And I think it starts to make sense, right? As a pose. Then we have the bicep, tricep, and the one angle where I feel a little more comfortable drawing it. Daiji, that's my ongoing challenge with digital drawing, lack of dynamic motion. Still working on dynamism in traditional method. So are you doing gestures? Because that's the one thing that will help with that. If you can get to a good point with gestures, you will get there. Because that's how I based this entire thing. That's what I based it on. It's just a gesture. That overarching movement. That's the one thing that helps the most with that. And my work is not dynamic at all. I think I have a long way to go with that, but he has a really cool pose there with his fingers. But just the gestures is a huge part of getting this, so. This pinches here, or stretches rather, the knee. And it wraps around. Goes like this. Can't see the shoe really. I think I sampled the white color, yeah. And then this goes here. There's a bunch of folds and creases there. See, that line really stuck out. And then the sock thing. Let's see if I remember anything about feet anatomy. Yeah. And then the thumb is in the middle, so that part's going to be the taller, and then it's going to go smaller. But yeah, I think that makes sense, right? I think that's a pose. Yeah, those two should align actually, so I really messed it up. This should end here. And then this should go here. And all of this shouldn't exist, funny enough. But yeah, just a fun one. I need to practice anatomy day-yum. Yeah. Expressionistics. Since I'm a professional traditional media artist, doing stuff digitally just feels like I'm wasting my time doing something I can't market in the areas I make an income in. Professional traditional doing stuff digitally. Yeah, you know what? That depends on your goal, I think. I think it's fine to work on your own stuff digitally, and maybe one day you can turn it into your own product. Like, everything is, at the end of the day, marketable to some audiences if you create a good product. I don't know exactly what digital art you make compared to, let's say, your traditional art, but I think there's room for, in the future, turning it into something profitable and make an income from. So it's not really a waste of time or anything like that, I think. No waste of time. You know, everything improves. What do you do traditionally? I wonder. Hey, you make digital art so good. Thank you. Thank you, Rajshri. So yeah, I think I'll wrap it up for today. It is now 9:20 p.m. I'll probably watch the new episode of House of the Dragon. Actually, I have 2 episodes to complete. House of the Dragon. And kind of chill, but I wanted to do this fun little one. I think I'll feel freer to do these frequently. I have everything set up and ready to go. Like a really fun setup, I think. I can actually, let me try. Can I show you, or will it reach? I don't know. So like, again, 2 monitors, which is always fun. And I got my tablet here. And these things can stay here pretty much. I don't need to move anything. That's the final workstation design, which makes it really convenient, I think. But yeah, I know that character Zuko in Avatar. It's actually just a rando person demonstrating kung fu here. But I would not be surprised if it would have been if it was based on Zuko, who I don't know who that is because I haven't watched Avatar, but I should. Yo, will you keep the stream recording listed? Yeah, definitely. I'll leave it up. I'm leaving my streams up. But yeah, this has been fun. Feel free to ask any questions you have in the comments. And yeah, probably I will do a lot of these more as practical means as I work on the manga. Because it'll be cool to share with you and show you kind of, and ask for your advice even if things look good and you like it. Hey Ankita, how are you? Love from India. Thank you so much. So yeah, we'll conclude today. Adria, I'm happy to know your name and I'll try to remember it. Adria. So bad at names. And thank you everyone who was here. You're an oil painter, primarily landscapes. I do a lot of digital editing of photos, but nothing I can do with more than a mouse. I've dabbled in all different digitals, but nothing gets stuck. And are you making a full income from oil painting? Because that's like the dream, you know? That's what so many people want to be able to do. By the way, want to see something cool? The newest addition to the studio is I added lights here. And I can do whatever color you want. So I thought what I do, let me show you here. I'm going to turn on this light, turn off the studio's light. See, that's a cool setup. I like that a lot. This is my favorite color so far, but I can make them just, you know, strobe. So I don't know, it's a fun thing. That I'll be playing around with, like how to design the space more and make it more interesting. But I'm happy to have remotes for pretty much everything here. Ooh, that's a really warm light. There we go. So yeah, it's been a long time coming. Took me a while to organize everything here, but yeah. Thank you for this. That was very inspiring. Yeah, my pleasure. And thank you, Daiji. Yeah, I'll probably put another ring strip on this thing here, on the actual closets side, and that'll be nice too, just to enhance it even more. But in any case, thank you so much. I will catch you in another live stream hopefully soon. Until then, take care.